Hey everybody, welcome to Valentine TV. As you come in, y'all, please hit that subscribe, like button, and share it if you can. And y'all, I got some news. You seen exclusive up there, and I will answer all the comments once I finish the reaction. This is coming from Tuff News TV, and y'all have got to hear this. Y'all, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'm going to go ahead and let her rip, okay? Wow, wow, wow. I'll be back with my reactions in just a minute.
What's going on, y'all, and happy Saturday. I hope everybody woke up happy and healthy this morning. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and jump all over this topic. And I want to say first and foremost, I've gotten some explosive news as it pertains to Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless allegedly being a part of this takedown of Shannon Sharpe. Now, I will say that the details surrounding this alleged issue is very shocking, to say the very least. And I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and share this video, get it out there, because I'm pretty sure that there's some truth and validity to it, given the fact of who it came from and where it came from. But before we get into all of that, I want to talk about Michelle Evans, because she had a relationship with Shannon Sharpe for a very long time, and she had this relationship while she was married. And the thing about the situation is that we know that he's being sued by the OnlyFans model, Gabriella Zuniga. And so this woman is claiming that Shannon Sharpe had did the same things to her, and she was living in fear for her life and things of that nature. Now, I just became privy to the interview that Michelle did with Tasha K, where she talked about her interactions with Shannon. And shout out to Tasha for going with the low cut or whatever. I'm not here to hate. I know that we had our past issues, but it looks good on her. So shout out to Tasha K. But in addition to Michelle doing a phone interview with Tasha K, she also sat down with thesun.com and talked about details surrounding her and Shannon's relationship. So I want to play you guys a small portion of that, and then we'll get straight into the meat and potatoes, as this particular person called it within the email that I was sent, as it pertains to Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith being a part of this takedown of Shannon Sharpe. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
You know, he was...
Y'all know I had to stop it just for a minute, but here we go.
Manhandling me beforehand. We met in actually the press room at the Broncos, April of 2002. And, but we didn't start talking until we met up at a club at Blue 67 in Denver. I don't know if
Sorry.
anyone is listening from Denver, but yeah, we...
Come on. 1 second, y'all.
We were at a club at the same time. We didn't go together. We just happened to both be there. And so he started talking to me, and he started pursuing me pretty heavily.
Okay. All right. Just a minute, y'all. Just a minute. Having the technical difficulties right here. Jeez. Y'all have got to hear this.
Broadly, I know it's probably painful to relive the situation, but can you tell?
Let me see. Make sure my Wi-Fi.
Generally, what happened that day?
It was fighting, and
it keep buffering, y'all.
Usually we fought on the phone and not in person.
Y'all, please just hold on for a second.
So it was...
Jeez. Is my Wi-Fi going out?
It was the biggest argument that we ever got in. And he was controlling, he was domineering, he was manhandling me before hand, and he wanted to have, and I told him no. I told him no, because you gave it to somebody else. I didn't only tell him no, I told him why. And he wouldn't take no for an answer. So he overpowered me, put me to my knees, put his in my mouth. And after he got enough of that, he put me on the bed. And, this was all a struggle. So I had said no. And I said no, even though I was thinking that. And so it was the hardest. Yeah, this is too hard. I remember he got.
Y'all got to listen to what Stephen A. Smith did and Skip Bayless. Because this messed up, man.
Dressed, and he knew what he did. And so, I just kind of escorted him out the door. And then I wasn't going to do anything about it. Sometimes when you're with the person for a long time, it's hard for you to realize that they're being a perpetrator, even though you know it, you don't want to admit it. And there's so much going through your mind. But then he started coming at me. If I tell anybody, he'll use everybody he knows to destroy me, which he basically has. And then he started making other threats against my life, threats. He just was so worried that it would get out, and I wasn't going to do anything. But when he kept calling me at work, and when he kept, just very aggressively behaving, and I could see it wasn't going to go away, and he said he was going to, and he told me he was watching me, and all that. I just went and got a protective order. I'd had enough. And unfortunately, shortly after, he doxed me, and my address got out, and I had somebody stop by my apartment, which had a door that led right to, it was basically on the sidewalk. And somebody came up to my door and said, "Shut up," screamed it at the top of their lungs. And I had.
Okay, this is about over, so y'all listen closely now.
And so I went and I dropped it, because also at my house, not my apartment, my house, somebody came to my house and sat out front of in the driveway while my daughter was there alone. Someone came to my house, someone came to my apartment, and after my daughter called me, that's when I went straight there.
So after you rescinded the restraining order, was there any other weird stuff, or did it kind of just die down?
It died down. I tried to move on with my life. We may have talked, I think, once or twice.
Why would you even talk once or twice after, I don't know. But when Tuff News TV, when he does his stuff and he say something came across his like email something, it means somebody didn't heard, saw something, because it always come out correct, okay? I'm just letting y'all know.
But then he started going on television. He came to my job, Turner Broadcasting, went on TV at CNN, and it was my job to put the videos from up to YouTube for CNN. That was part of my job. So I'm putting up this totally dropped, made it look like the police dropped it. Not that I had gone down and drawn it. It created a picture that wasn't accurate. And that was a very hostile work environment.
I'm going to ask something that might be a little sensitive or might sound insensitive, I should say. But I'm going to go ahead and ask it because it's a question that I'm sure people are wondering. Why didn't you file a police report when he was you?
Because I was scared for my life. He said he would use it. Everybody he knows, and he knows lots of police officers. So I didn't know that if I went down there, that would be one of the people that he knows. Atlanta has a problem with.
You put a damn restraining order out on him, and I ain't victim shaming. I'm not, y'all, because I'm a victim of it myself. So no, I am not. But y'all just gotta listen to when Tuff News comes back and show us that they're emailed and stuff like that.
Corruption.
All right, so guys, that was a portion of what she had to say to thesun.com. Now, a lot of people said that they were kind of thrown off from the fact that she admitted that she was married while she was dating Shannon Sharp.
Let me slow him down now, because y'all gotta hear this, okay? Sorry about stopping it, but it's just so y'all can hear this normally. He wants everybody to share it, because he want to get it out there, because y'all, evidently, he knows some stuff. Okay.
at the same time. But at the end of the day, if her claims are true, it doesn't matter if she was married or not. If Shannon took her against her will, he is still in the wrong, and that's R, right? Now, I will say that women who look like Michelle, it really rubs me the wrong way when they say they were afraid to file a police report against a melanated man because they were afraid. Given the fact the amount of privilege that's on their side, all they have to do is scream R, and the judge is already ruling in their favor. So I call BS on that. And I really do think that although Shannon Sharpe is guilty of some things, I believe that he likes to role play, and I believe that Shannon is aggressive by nature. You can just tell by his demeanor on.
And I think he is a nasty, daring hate. I still don't like it. Okay. I still don't like it.
I believe that he likes to role play, and I believe that Shannon is aggressive by nature. You can just tell by his demeanor on his own show, Nightcap, right? And we heard the aggressive phone conversations that he was having with Gabriella. Now, does that mean that he's guilty of the full extent that they're trying to take this to? No, but I will say it's easy to set a mofo up like him because they know his weaknesses, right? And who's to say that Michelle and Shannon didn't have that same type of relationship where they were role playing, right? But again, I'm not trying to discount or discredit their story, but I do want to go ahead and read you all this information that slid across my desk. Now, let me go ahead and say this, that the information that lies ahead is all alleged. I was not there. I cannot confirm or deny that these actions took place. So without further ado, it says here, Stephen A. Smith is a snake, according to former ESPN colleague blank blank, I can't say their name, guys, who claims that the takedown of Shannon was coordinated by Skip Bayless and Stephen A. So Stephen A. tries to push the narrative that he did Shannon a favor by bringing him to ESPN after Shannon left undisputed following the public humiliation handed down by Skip on national television. But ESPN bosses were already looking at Sharpe to give him his own possible segment on the network. Once Stephen A. got wind of the news, he went to the bosses in animated fashion and voiced his discomfort of Shannon possibly being given his own window on the network. ESPN caved to Stephen A.'s wishes and allowed it to seem that he was the so-called savior by offering Shannon a position on First Take. Collectively, many ESPN analysts state that behind closed doors, Stephen A. is jealous of Shannon and his success, especially when it comes to his successful podcast. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of all of this, and I will try to make this as short and uncomplicated as possible. So Skip believes that Shannon was behind Norshin Faraji filing a SA lawsuit against him to get back at him after the public banter took place that ultimately led to Shannon's exit. Skip says that there's evidence that Shannon's hands was all over it and even financially funding the accuser in an effort to take him down. And this is according to multiple Fox Sports analysts, and one in particular who is being sued right now for R in blank blank, I can't say their name. But Skip knew about Shannon's dirt that hadn't been completely swept under the rug when it came to Gabriella Zuniga, because Shannon started dating her in 2023, which is the same year he left undisputed. Skip also knew about Michelle Evans, who had accused Shannon of R because it was discussed by the bosses at Fox before he was hired back in 2016. So Shannon comes on First Take and does a fantastic job, and he brings on his business partner, Ocho Cinco, as they look to embark on a new horizon and shortly being offered $100 million podcasting deal. The problem is that with Shannon being a LeBron fan, he had an issue with Stephen A. calling out LeBron as a father when it came down to Bronny's play on the court. There was a little bit of a back and forth behind the scenes between both men. So after LeBron checked Stephen A. courtside at the Lakers game, reliable ESPN affiliates admitted that it was confirmed that how LeBron got connected to do the Pat McAfee show was through Shannon, knowing that there was tension between Stephen A. and Pat over contract negotiations, as Stephen A. went to the bosses complaining that he should be the highest paid or at least comparable to Pat's salary given his contributions to the network. Stephen A. ended up signing a 5-year, $100 million deal. So LeBron goes on to the McAfee show and slights Stephen A. And at that point, Stephen A. is rattled because he had been trying to get Bron on his show for years and was unsuccessful. And now you go and sit down with my nemesis. So after research, it was concluded that Shannon connected Bron and Pat, and Stephen A., I'm told, was livid and made the remark to colleagues that there will be some changes coming soon And his exact words was, "I'm about to shake this Tucker up," and I'm paraphrasing there. Some say that Stephen A said that Tony Busby was after the wrong guy in Jay-Z, and that who he should be going after was a person right up underneath all of their noses at ESPN. So according to this former ESPN analyst, both Skip and Stephen A set Shannon up knowing about his aggressive role-playing nature behind the scenes and worked through Gabriella to twist the narrative to end Shannon Sharpe for good. Skip Bayless, being in a past lawsuit involving Tony Busby, has direct and close ties to the lawyer. All right, so you guys just heard all of that. Now, what I will say that I find interesting as it pertains to how Stephen A. Smith moved in this particular situation is given the fact that when Shannon Sharpe decided to step away from ESPN, or ESPN decided that for him, he went straight to his YouTube channel to talk about a colleague's business. Like, how professional is that? Right then and there, I kind of speculated that there was something going on behind the scenes, right? But again, this information is all alleged, but I think that we could all come to some type of conclusion that this situation is definitely weird. But anyway, I'm going to draw the line here. I want you guys to feel free to drop down in the comments and give me your thoughts on this whole entire situation. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and if you're new,
y'all hear that? I didn't want to interrupt none of it because that is crazy. That is, if Stephen, boy, if y'all did that to this man, y'all should be, man. Because, see, I've been watching Tough News long enough to know when some like that, when he say he got some, and yes. But even though I don't like Shannon for doing his daughter that way and all that stuff, I don't think he should go to, for be accused of harming anybody. No. So y'all let me know what y'all think, okay? And please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And I'll be back with y'all later. But Tough News, he wants everybody to share. So he knows something. He knows something. All right, I'm gonna end it right here too. And I'll talk to y'all later, okay? All right. Love y'all. Bye.